What is going on, guys? Welcome to GregglesTV Daily Rewind, episode 13. We are teenagers now, and we are into another tech week of news. This runs from August 26th or 27th all the way to September 2nd, and we have a bunch of news on the Galaxy S10 with the fingerprint sensor underneath the display, the new iPhone XS phone, which will come out, and that's gonna be the name of the new iPhone. There's 5.8 and there's 6.5 inch model. The Pixel 3 XL has been leaked like crazy. We have tons of leaks on that. We have the Galaxy Note 9 versus Galaxy Note 8 and really everything in between. First story of the day is about the Pixel 3 and Pixel 3 XL. Bloomberg has come out and said that they believe that the Pixel 3 and Pixel 3 XL will be unveiled October 9th at a media event in New York City. So if you're looking to get the new Pixel phone and learn exactly everything about it, even though a lot of stuff has already been leaked out because of the Russians basically getting this phone in hand and doing unboxings and showing us wired Pixel buds and the 6.7 inch display and basically, again, everything about this phone, you're still gonna be in good hands. And so it looks like October 9th will be the launch date of this, and then from there it's probably maybe the same day they'll do the pre-order. I think they did that last year anyway. And then after that, you'd probably look at a week or two after that the phone to actually be in your hand. Next up, Apple leaker Ming-Chi Kuo and also Bloomberg again have come out and said that Apple, their new iPhone, the 2018 phones, the 5.8, the 6.1, and the 6.5 will not support the Apple Pencil. So Samsung's Galaxy Note will still have that advantage over the Apple phones. The other interesting thing is Bloomberg released what the phone's basically going to have for specs, and we kind of reiterates what we've already seen, but we'll go through it again. So all the phones will have an A12 processor. The resolution on the phones, you can see, is slightly different across the board, with the 6.1 having the lowest resolution out of all of them. RAM, all the phones have 4 gigabytes except for the 6.1, which is not to be too shocking because it has 3 gigabytes and it's going to be the lower end phone. All the phones will at least have 64 gigabytes of storage, 256 and 512. Again, the LCD one will not have 512, but you can at least get 512 gigabytes on the new iPhones. SIM card slots, depending upon where you live, you can get up to 2 SIM slots, so you can have a dual SIM on the 6.5 in some areas. Looks like it's going to be Asian countries. Face ID for all of them with a notch. Rear camera is dual 12 megapixel cameras with optical image stabilization. You're also getting a stainless steel design, aluminum on the 6.1. Casing colors, you're going to get 3, 3, or 5. On the LCD, you'll get more colors. And then the big thing is price, what you'll end up paying, or at least these are start-off prices. So anywhere between $900 to $999 on the 6.5, that's pretty low, especially for such a big display. But that most likely would be the 64 gig version. The 5.8 will be $800 to $899, and then you see that 6.1 will be $600 to $699. I think that one's going to be obviously one of the big sellers of this year's iPhones. And the last story of the day is about the Galaxy S10 phones, and as you know or didn't know, there's going to be 3 versions of this phone, with the largest one having basically everything you could possibly want. The big news coming out today is that all 3 versions of this phone are going to have some form of fingerprint underneath the display. The cheapest one will have optical, whereas the other 2, the middle one and the most expensive one, will have ultrasonic. Ultrasonic's going to be faster, more accurate. So if you're going to want the best fingerprint sensor underneath the display, you're going to want to get the middle one or the larger one. But this is very, very exciting news. Why? Because this is exciting technology. This isn't in every phone like, you know, just a plain old fingerprint sensor is, or a camera is. This is only in, you know, some Chinese phones. That's basically it. This is going to be in the next Samsung Galaxy S10 line of phones. Again, badass excited about this. Let's get into the news. The only story I have today, because it was actually a very slow tech news day, is Xbox's All Access Pass. This thing is actually pretty cool, but I think there's an issue with it as well. But let's talk about what you get with Xbox All Access. So for a limited time, in-store only, you have to live near a Microsoft store and head over to a Microsoft store. You can choose, here's what you get. You can either get an Xbox One X or an Xbox One S, along with 24 months of Xbox Live, and also a 24-month Xbox Game Pass, which includes over 100 games that you can play unlimited for free during those 24 months. And the cool thing is you actually pay per month. So for the Xbox One X package, you pay $34.99 per month, or for the Xbox One S package, you pay $21.99 per month. It is 0% APR for 24 months. After 24 months, you officially own that console, which is amazing. That's awesome. You don't have to pay anything else. But at the same time, you have to be having probably some good credit because it's powered by Dell Preferred account, meaning they're going to do a credit check on you. Meaning this kind of negates people that maybe couldn't pay the upfront cost for all this stuff, because most of the people, I would assume, maybe either don't have great credit or maybe are, tight with their money. And I don't know, I think it negates all that. So, I mean, it's very cool, I think, in the grand scheme of things, paying monthly for it, and instead of putting up $800 for this whole package or whatever one you get. But at the same time, I think it's kind of an issue. So just to walk through what you're going to end up doing, you'd visit a Microsoft store, you choose your favorite bundle, either the One X or the One S, and then also apply for your Dell Preferred account and pay no upfront costs. Now, the news for this came out, I believe, a week or two ago, and then it officially launched yesterday. So if you want to get this, head over to a Microsoft store and do it, because it says limited time only. So if you're going to do it, like I said, do it. Xbox One X is an amazing console. I have one. It's super powerful. If you have a 4K TV, it's a complete no-brainer to get for gaming console. It's the most powerful home gaming console. It beats the PS4 Pro, and the library is pretty decent as well for Xbox if you like Xbox games. So yeah, it's available now. How was everyone doing? Let's get into the news. The first story of the day is about the Galaxy Note 9's new water cooling system. Well, they've had water cooling systems in phones since the Galaxy S7, so now this is the, I guess, third generation you'd call of this water cooling system, and it's their absolute best on the Galaxy Note 9, and they released some photos, or a photo, about this. So checking out this image, you can see performance innovation, Galaxy Note 9's water carbon cooling system explained, and over to the right, you see compared to the Galaxy Note 8, you're getting 3 times greater heat absorption and 3.5x thermal connectivity. Now, what makes that important is that, the cooler the phone runs, the better the performance in the phone. Also, the surface area has increased to 350 millimeters. It's also 9 times more conductive than silicone, and overall, you're just getting a much cooler phone. So obviously the Galaxy Note 9 is a better phone than the Galaxy Note 8. It should be. It's a year newer phone, but you're also getting better battery life, better processor, more RAM, more storage, and now also this to add on top of it, to name just a few of the things that make it better. You're also getting a better cooling system. And the last story of the day is about Android 9.0, which is also known as Android Pie, which is the latest version of Android. It's on the Pixel, it's on the Essential phone. Can't remember if it's on any other phones, but it's definitely on those 2 phones already, and it looks like it's being internally tested at Samsung. So the rumor going around is that it's being internally tested on the Galaxy S9 Plus because it showed up on a GFX benchmark showing as Android 9.0. Let's get into the news. If you're interested in the Pixel 3 phone, not the 3 XL, but the 3, more photos have leaked of this phone and some specs as well. On the back of the phone, you have the single camera, the flash, and then you have the fingerprint sensor with the G logo at the bottom. No huge redesign in terms of the way it looks. On the back, on the front, no notch. So if you wanted to get a Pixel and you didn't want to get a notch and you wanted the phone to be new, Pixel 3 is looking like your best option because it's just a normal, straight firing looking phone with the speaker at the top, speaker at the bottom, and a, rectangular display there with no notch, which I wish the other Pixel had, but whatever, I'll deal with it. Next, you can see that the screenshot showing the device information shows that it's a Pixel 3. Resolution on there is 2160 by 1080. Now, last year's phone and the year before that, I believe, was 1080p. I know last year's was 1080p. So this year it's sticking with the kind of same resolution, except it's going to be a slightly longer display rather than 16 by 9. Size of the screen is 5.5 inches, so very small, fairly small display, especially with today's standards. You're getting 440 pixels per inch, and HDR is supported on the display. When you go down to the camera, you'll see it has an 8 megapixel camera with, it says there's 2 apertures. There's a 1.8 and 2.2, something Samsung already has on their displays. And other than that, that's pretty much the Pixel 3 for you. Now, if today could be defined as any type of day, like what type of tech day it is, it's definitely an Apple Tech Day, and that's because they officially leaked out some photos of their new watch and phones, and also they sent out invites for this event. So here's the invite right here. It says, gather round. Please join us for an Apple special event at the Steve Jobs Theater in Cupertino, September 12th, 10 a.m. Now, that's basically about, I guess, 2 weeks away, less than 2 weeks away here. And that's going to be the announcement of their new phones and new watches and possibly new iPads as well. Now, they did leak out some photos, at least 9 to 5 Mac found these photos of the new iPhones here. It's going to be the OLED models, the 5.8 inch and the 6.5. And you can see the huge size discrepancy, the huge size on here. And with that phone, you're gonna also get the edge-to-edge display, slim bezels, no home button, Touch ID, which has been replaced by Face ID. And according to leaked data, Apple is planning to call the 5.8 inch and the 6.5 inch OLED phones iPhone XS. There won't be a difference right now between the names. It's just, you'll just go into the store and say, hey, can I get the big iPhone XS or the small one? There's, after iPhone XS, that's the full name for both phones. And the other image they found was of the Apple Watch 4, which is slightly different this year. The display is supposed to be 15% bigger than last year's with smaller bezels. That's how they got the bigger display. Also on the digital crown, you can see that instead of there being a red dot, it's just a completely red circle around it. So a really big day for Apple news thus far. Of course, it's funny you didn't see the iPhone 6.1 inch in the photo of those two other iPhones. Probably either because it's going to be announced at a separate event, which I don't think they will. I think it'll kind of be like the, oh, and one more thing, we now have a low-cost iPhone. Or if they don't make it a one more thing, they'll try to downplay it because it's less money in terms of what people will be paying. They want people to spend more money at Apple so that they look like a larger, more expansive, richer company overall. Let's get into the news. The first story of the day, actually all the stories today are about Pixel. So if you're not a Pixel fan, you might want to leave. But anyways, guys, let's get into the news. The first story about the Pixel is that it passed through the FCC, and it's given us a little bit of information. The information that has passed through to us is that wireless charging is confirmed in the new Pixel 3 and Pixel 3 XL, which is great because wireless charging has been out for years and Pixel has now picked up upon it, and it should be fast wireless charging at that as well. The other cool thing about this is that it will have bands 12 and 71, and bands 12 and 71, if you're a T-Mobile customer, is T-Mobile's new extended range LTE, so you'll get even better LTE performance on the new Pixel 3 or 3 XL, and obviously as well, again, this year it'll work on GSM and CDMA networks, meaning it'll work on all 4 carriers again. Now the Pixel should be announced in the first or second week of October, and then you're probably looking at towards the end as to when it will actually be in your hand. Next up is about the Pixel Stand. Now the Pixel Stand will most likely be a wireless charger from Google that works with your Pixel phone, and you'll be able to dock your phone onto that wireless charger. Well, we have some UI photos of what will show up on the screen of the phone when you do dock it into the Pixel Stand. And you can see from these images, it tells you the weather, gives you if it's sunny or not. It also tells you can try playing some music, show your reminders, make a phone call, read your messages, set an alarm, set a timer, play news, explore what's new. So it's kind of obviously a graphical thing that it'll show you when it's on the Pixel Stand, which is kind of cool. So your screen will be on and it'll probably automatically go to this thing, so you can kind of use your phone as, you know, whatever you want. It'd be cool if the Pixel Stand had some speakers built into it. I highly doubt it, but it still would be pretty cool. And last story of the day is about the Google Pixel Watch that was rumored to come out this year in 2018. It looks like Miles Barr, who's the director of engineering at Google, has come out and said that there will be no new Google Watch this year in 2018 anyway. So if you're waiting for a Pixel Watch, doesn't look like it's going to happen unless he's trying to trick everybody, which would be kind of weird. I don't think he's going to doing that. So it looks like there will be no new Google Watch. I mean, you'll be able to get Google Watches from other manufacturers, and that's what Google's going to end up doing, is helping other manufacturers get their watches out. but if you're waiting for a Google branded one, it's unfortunately not going to happen, which is kind of a bummer. I was personally looking forward to this watch. I just sold my Gear S3 because I really wasn't using it, and I was looking forward to getting that Pixel watch, and it looks like I'll probably have to wait a little bit longer because it has not really any other Google watches right now that I'm really that interested in. Let's get into the news. The only story we have today is Sprint's new unlimited data plan, which is called Unlimited Premium, and it's only from Sprint. Sprint introduces an unlimited, feature-rich, unlimited premium plan, and it actually comes with quite a few things here. So it costs $90, but if you either bring your own phone to Sprint with this plan, or you buy a phone outright through Sprint, it's only 80 bucks, that's really cheap. But you get a ton of stuff, like I said. So you get unlimited data, but after 50 gigabytes, they may slow you down. You also get 50 gigabytes of LTE mobile hotspot to keep your devices connected. You get Amazon Prime, which is pretty damn cool, as long as you keep paying your monthly bill. You get Lookout Premium Plus, which is a security app, and I wouldn't use it, but hey, maybe you want it. Access to the largest streaming library with Hulu, so you get Hulu limited commercials subscription, so you can watch TV shows and movies and things like that. You get music streaming with Tidal, which is Jay-Z's music streaming competition versus Spotify and Apple Music. I've never used it. Maybe you'll love it, but it comes with that. Streaming in full HD, so your videos when you stream will be 1080p. They won't be 720, they won't be 480, they won't be 1440 or 4K, they'll just be 1080. You get global roaming in more than 185 worldwide destinations. You also get, in Mexico and Canada, you get unlimited talk, text, and LTE data. And of course, unlimited data, talk, and text nationwide in the United States. So like I said, a really actually interesting plan. I'd like to see that with more companies. They said if you paid for all those services individually, it'd be at about 130 bucks versus 90 or even 80 bucks if you buy your phone outright. So for someone like me who usually buys their phone outright, I'd be about 80 bucks on that new Sprint Unlimited plan. Sprint's okay, especially in San Diego where I live. It's not the best. I know there's some dead spots, but generally if I just stayed at home, kind of like what I do all day now, I'd probably be perfectly fine with a plan like that. But occasionally I leave. Occasionally I'll go out to Vegas for CES or go visit family-in-law, up north in California. So I know it's going to have some dead spots. I'd rather have it work basically everywhere like AT&T does for me right now. Guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. New videos every single day. How was everyone doing? Let's get into the news. The only story we have today is that the Pixel 3 XL, which is probably the most leaked phone ever in the history of smartphones. You can think back to the old, I forget what iPhone it was, maybe it was the 5 or the 4 or whatever, got leaked out and was left at a bar. And then you think about all the leaks you get with Galaxy phones, but this is like the most leaked phone, and it's the most leaked phone because it's shown in people's hands, it's unboxed, we know the specs, it's like crazy what we know about this phone, and it's been leaked again. It was left in the back of a Lyft. So a Lyft, L-Y-F-T, is like Uber. You get a Lyft and someone drives you from point A to point B from an app, and there was a group of people, one of the people left their Pixel 3 XL in the car, and the driver took some photos of the phone, and it is a Pixel 3 XL. At first he thought it was his phone back there when he was looking in the back of the car, but when he took a closer look, he saw the notch, he saw that it was a Pixel phone, and obviously the only phone with a notch with Pixel is the Pixel 3 XL. And he holds it in hand, and you can see the lock screen. Obviously, he probably doesn't know the lock, so he's not going to be able to unlock the phone. And then he hid the identifying marks on the back of the phone where it shows, identifying numbers, so the person does not get in trouble. But it's just crazy, all the leaks for this phone. I'd like to know what you guys think. Is Google trolling everybody and they're going to show some other phone that looks completely different than what we've been seeing lately? Or maybe another one. Maybe you think that Google is putting these little feelers out to get the buzz going about the Pixel 3 and 3 XL. Or maybe it's just complete accidents. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I kind of think it's the second one. I kind of think Google's purposely doing this to create a little bit of a buzz about the phone. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you down the road. Have a fantastic Sunday. Peace.